How you doing, Mickey?
Yeah, it's just busy, man. Like, fucked up busy.
Is it, eh? What's been going on?
Hospital in and out.
Yeah. Hey,
What's up, boys?
what's up?
Yo,
How's it going?
you and yourself, man.
Nah, yesy, dying. Leg day. Yes.
Leg day today.
Yeah, I was training with a friend of mine now. And we were chatting a shit load, but we got to leg extensions, leg press, and seated hammy curls. Just those three movements, and I was dying after that. Like,
Is it?
That's a crap. If you talk a lot right through your workouts, you just get like 2 workouts done and that's it. And you're like, shit, what did I come to gym for?
exactly. Every time I do, like, I mean, if your legs are done after 3 movements, then great. But I mean, like, I always feel like I need to do more. Like, I need to do every single thing that is there is possible to do, like every single movement. And I'm like, dude, chill. There's many days in the week.
Yeah, I also get that, but I get that when I train biceps. For some reason, I can do if I do like 1 superset on biceps, I'm fucked. I'm
Really?
like,
Just one.
yeah, I don't know why. It's weird. I do like 2, whatever, like 1 or 2 supersets, like something like that. And it's like 15 minutes into the work, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck am I gonna get through the rest of this? I'm absolutely fucked. You know when you walk in, your arms are you can't even straighten them. Like that's how I don't know why. But anyways, okay. Ahmad said he's coming on now, so at least we got 4 guys now. That's power. I know Blaine's got load shedding, so
That's a shit.
it's a bit of a fuck up. But I guess that's what we deal with when we do a podcast in South Africa, I guess.
Exactly.
So yeah, I've got a few questions and stuff. I'm gonna wait for Ahmed to join because then at least we can go around and whatever. But otherwise, boys, what's happening? What's been happening? Mickey, I know me and Mickey were just chatting now before you hopped on about in and out of hospital and all that stuff. What's the update on the health situation?
Yeah. Look, today I just went like from Fabrice check. Like it's basically something very new, and what I will advise is for athletes, like mainly bodybuilders, to do that test as well if you guys do blood test, because that test is most important. That's the reason why I actually put it on my post as well. That's the reason why a lot of bodybuilders get heart attacks as well. We don't know about the fibrous. If we are tested positive for fibrous, that means we're going to have a heart problem one day. Even though you're active, you don't need to take PEDs or anything like that. But PEDs will make it worse. But we need to test for fibrous. Here in South Africa, we don't actually know about what fibrous is. So I'm new to it. So I would actually also like to share to other athletes as well to say, look here, guys, test for fibrous.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very interesting because it's to do with your heart as well. What you get into your body, it's in your blood.
Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't hurt to go get it checked out. You know what I mean? Because you'd rather pay the extra money, even if whatever it costs. You'd rather pay the extra money, get that shit checked out because, look, without the ticker, you're in trouble. And look, this is coming from someone as well that actually has like heart issues. I was born with small, heart problems.
Yeah.
And like, you just got to take that shit so seriously, especially in the sport that we're in and whatever. I mean, you're putting so much pressure on most of your organs. At the end of the day, it doesn't. I mean, it's just for me, it's extremely lazy not to just go. Sometimes not lazy. Sometimes it's not lazy. It's more, people don't have the knowledge, and that's the type of thing that we got to try to do. Just get the knowledge out there and tell them, listen. Doesn't matter if it's your first show, you just got you just started using gear, whatever the story is, go get that shit checked out, or get it checked out before you start using anything. Get your body checked out completely. Rather spend the money on getting yourself checked, than buying fucking liters of juice. Because when you're a youngster, you don't give a fuck about that. You just like, come boys, it's fucking. It's matric. We got to look good for VAC. We're gonna do all the juice, all the way the guys roll. So I think that's very important, very very important. So I think if we can educate, even if it helps 30 people, I know it's obviously nothing, but if it helps 30 people, and especially what we've seen recently with athletes, and not just bodybuilding, like athletes in general, just sports, people having fucking heart attacks and aneurysms, all this shit is just through the roof. So, I mean, look, if we can do our little bit, that's great,
The thing is like with everything else in your body, every other organ, it's kind of a process going from 100 to 0. But with your heart, yes, it can degenerate just like all the others. But the only thing that the heart has is that it doesn't care if it's at 100 or 0. There are guys that, I mean, how many stories do you hear often about this guy was living crazy healthy? He's like a triathlon athlete and he's a bike racer, and this guy has no medical history and nothing, and he hasn't had this and he hasn't had that, and he's not on gear. These are regular ass people, natural people, and they just wake up and boom, heart attack. Like, your heart does not care if it's wherever it is in its condition. It will, if it wants to go, it's gonna go. And the only way that you can know if it's gonna go is by checking these things regularly and making sure that it is in check. Because you need to do the most with your heart, because like I said, it's the only one that's gonna be like, I don't care, I'm gonna go when I feel like going.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
100%, that's true. Because that's why I said this new test now that they call Fabrius, that's one of the most important tests for athletes as well. You don't need to be an athlete. Like you said, you can be healthy as fuck, but your heart is very important. It's very, very important.
You're screwed.
Look, because we as bodybuilders, we put a lot of strain on our kidneys, our heart, our lungs, our organs, basically. But our heart is most important as well.
Because he's taking the brunt of everything. Like, your kidneys are taking a beating, the liver's taking a beating, but if your liver's taking a beating, the heart's as well. The kidneys taking a beating, the heart as well. The heart is always with everything that's taking a beating. In the case of like your kidneys and your liver, the one might not get hit, but the other one will. But with your heart, it's always there. It's always taking a beating. And the thing is, like, even if you're actually not on gear, even if you're just pushing the amount of food and being able to put that amount of mass on your body, the thing is, we're not actually, our frames are not built to be able to weigh this much and carry this much muscle. And that contributes to the heart, because the heart needs to upgrade to get stronger to be able to handle that. But here's the problem. That's the only muscle in your entire body you do not want to grow, is your heart. You do not want cardio hypertrophy. You do not want that. Yeah. But look at any bodybuilder. Even if they had anyone who is a bodybuilder and who lived a healthy life, I promise you, Sean Ray, who has no problems whatsoever, go check his heart and his organs. They will be bigger, because your body needs to get bigger to sustain your bigger body. So
yeah,
and that's the problem.
The thing is as well, I think, like I said, the uneducated will also don't understand it. And you guys obviously just jump in if I'm talking out of turn here. But at the end of the day, if you overweight, you overweight. So if you fat or you muscle, at the end of the day, your heart is under more strain than what it should be. It's just the way it is. If you overweight, you got a fuck ton of muscle. Your heart's going to be working harder. It's under a lot more pressure. That's the way it is. So and that's what fucking drives me crazy about this this, this like fat phobic shit that's going, that shit, that fucking absolutely drives me like mad, because at the end of the day, you're just unhealthy. That's the fucking, that's the bottom line. And don't get me wrong, you get, there's people that are overweight and fat that are healthier than guys that are fucking skinny and whatever. That doesn't mean, that's not the be all and end all.
But you're an outlier. You're an outlier.
But 100%. At the end of the day as well, we also live in a time where the food we eat is fucking shit. When I say we, I mean people in general. Like fast food is like, it's faster than ever. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's the easiest thing to do. Quickly stop there, quickly stop here, and it's most of the time, it's absolute shit that we're eating, and we just live in an unhealthy, society now where majority of the people that you look at that look healthy, chances are, they're probably not. So I think it's important, and you mentioned something very important, Mickey, is that you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be, whether you bodybuilder, CrossFit, fucking whatever you want to do, go get this shit checked out. Okay, not CrossFit. That's what, I'm joking. I'm sure I'm going to get a few comments about that. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's very important. But back to you, Mickey. What's happening? I know obviously the last time we spoke, there was, we had the podcast and we spoke about everything, and I understood everything then, but things change,
Yeah, so I went to go see a cardiovascular last week, and they normally put you on that fitness, the treadmill and all the wires and shit and stuff like that. So, and they monitored my heart now for quite a while, but everything seems clear. Everything is 100%, seems clear, so everything is okay. My heart is okay, my liver is okay, every other organ is okay. It's just the one kidney. So it's because of high blood pressure as well. And look, the doctors don't want to say it's the jab. Yesterday, I was also at the specialist physician, and he also said, look, it could be the jab, could not be the jab, but definitely it's like 80%, 90% it is the jab. So it spiked my protein synthetic into my body very high, like very, very high. That's why my creatine don't want to come down. It spiked over about 1,200 to 1,500. It's supposed to be lower. So if you have muscle mass, it will be about, say, 300 to 200, but it can't go higher than that as an athlete. You understand? So it must be in between 100 to 80, round about there. And if you do like heavy training and cardio training and cycling, it will push up to 200 to 300 to 500, not over that. Over that, you need to go to a physician to check out your kidneys.
Yeah.
That's very important. That's very important. You check your creatine as well. So your creatine must be about lower than, it must be into 90, 100, 120 in your curve. But if you are a bodybuilder and like an active athlete, it will spike up to 300 to 500. That is okay, but not over 1,000. 1,000 is a red flag.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a good point. It's something to look out for,
Yeah.
Okay.
So my creatine is just a little bit high. Every time when you do blood tests every month, it's just a little bit high. But look, they say there's a possibility that my kidneys will recover, but I don't think so. But my physician said, my doctor said that we rather look at a transplant in future. So they are preparing myself now for transplant. That's why I need to do this previous blood test. This blood test needs to go to Germany. So they don't do it here in South Africa.
Okay.
So it's fairly new. So it needs to go to Germany, and then I'll get my test over 2 weeks. So next week I have to go for a scope. After the scope, they will prepare me for any other tests and put me on a donor list.
Okay. And what do they say about the donor list? How long could that take, or what's the possibility of you getting a kidney?
Look, it's quite long. This is quite long. But 2 weeks ago at Grooteskeer, those doctors, they actually done something very interesting in SA, and it's the first time in SA, so you don't need to have a match to insert the kidney now. So it's something new, very new. So they take something out of your blood group, and then they can transplant any kidney into your body. That's something new. That's good news. So you don't need to have like a match, a donor match nowadays.
That helps a lot.
That
helps a lot because there's the transplant list. It's so long, so you need to wait. So I'm still young, so I can get one. If you're older than 50 or 60, you can't get one. You're gonna have to live on dialysis.
Sure.
Fucking hell. Well, I mean, if that all pans out and works out, I mean, the probability of you getting a kidneys, would be through the roof. The only thing I question is, like, if it is relatively new, when will they implement something like that? Because normally, they have to do years of tests. Well, I might be speaking out of turn here, but from what I understand, they'd have to do quite an extensive testing period to, be able to do it. But I don't know.
The testing can take up to 6 months to a year.
Okay.
To prepare yourself for a kidney donor.
Flip. Okay. Well, let's just. I guess we just hope and pray, Mickey? That's.
Yeah.
And sorry, one last question on the topic. That when you get so everything goes 100%. You get the kidney transplant and everything's perfect. What does that mean? Does that mean clean slate, everything's fine, or does that mean you still have to, kind of live a different lifestyle and do things differently, or will you be fine? Like, I assume it obviously won't be 100%. You won't be back to your former self, but what can and what can't you do?
Look, I would say everything will be fine, but your diet, like my diet, just need to change up. So it's more into your diet. You can't have high proteins because high protein affects your kidney as well, because it will stay urine and blood and blood groups. So my diet will probably change, and I would have to stay on a different type of medication to keep it alive.
Okay.
But further than that, then you don't need to do dialysis every week. See, dialysis is just treatment is just a slap in the face. It takes away from your time, everything. I have to go treatment 3 times a week, 4 hours, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I do it early in the morning so that I can get the day done and have it for myself. But my body is getting used to the treatment and stuff like that. But it's just the weight loss. It's crap. I've lost about 25 kgs. That's a lot.
That's a fuckload. And tell me, with regards to the weight loss, how does that how has that affected your mentality? Because I know a lot of people when they go through something like this, and it's almost like a identity loss. Like, you lose your identity. Like, you also hear it from retired bodybuilders that just lose all the weight, and then all of a sudden they're like, they get they get a bit depressed, or not depressed, but they feel funny, and they don't really want to go out in public because they're not their usual self.
No, you can use the word depressed, because that's how you will feel. Any bodybuilder will feel like that. If you take about 4 days or 1 week off from gym and you're sick or have the flu, you feel like shit. You feel like, I want to go to the gym. You feel different. You feel like you lost so much weight, but your structure is still there. So in my case, I lost everything. I lost weight. I lost muscle. I lost everything. You see, but just imagine, like you can't train like for like a whole week.
Yeah.
It's crap. You can't train a whole week. You can't even train anything at all. You will feel crap. Emotionally, you don't even want to go outside. But I told myself, and I come to the realization, look here, it is what it is. So I'm just gonna have to step out and face reality, and still gonna put my head into the game, still help other people if I can't help myself, but I still have to keep a positive mindset as well.
Okay. Okay. Wow, bro, that's
What's happening, fellas?
Right,
hey,
and so-
what's happening?
You need to go put on a shirt, please, because I'm feeling a little bit like. Look at that chest, man. Yes,
pump,
see.
This one is looking fucking jacked.
Yo,
he needs a wide angle camera.
Yeah, you got a panorama view.
it's just a photo, man, boys. It's a photo. Relax.
How you doing, bro?
No, I'm good. How you boys doing?
Lekker. We're just talking about Mickey's situation and and health and bodybuilding, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So look, boys, I got from the Q&A, I got a few questions. So what I'm thinking is what I'll ask them, and then let's just make an order. So maybe Mickey goes first, Ahmad second, you go third, and then I'll go last if anyone wants to know my opinion. So let's get into it. Might as well. I have a feeling these few questions are gonna take up most of the time. Okay, first question from Avi the Beast. If anyone knows Avi the Beast. Okay.
Boy.
Okay, I assume this question is directed at me, or maybe not. Is there any athlete amongst our current crop of... okay, no, it's not. Is there any athlete amongst our current crop of pros who you think is most likely to go to the Olympia? It's a good question. That's a very good question.
But category,
Sorry?
in all categories or what?
Yeah, I assume so. I assume he's talking about men, all the men's categories. I assume.
We have females as well, eh? Don't forget about that.
Yeah, can't forget about them. I might get into a bit of shit. Well, let's do both. We can do both. Let's go female and male. Who do you think is, who do you think's the next Olympian?
Who's going first here? Like
Mickey. Sorry. Yeah, Mickey first.
Look, I'm a big Andrew Jack fan, and he actually amazed everyone at the Arnold's as well. I would still put my money on him.
I think the guy's asking about our South African.
South Africa. Oh,
Let me read this again. Make sure amongst our current crop. Yeah, who's most likely to make it to the Olympia? So yeah, so from South Africa.
honest opinion.
Yeah,
It's not
honest.
easy. It's not that easy because our South African everything is totally different to international. Like I don't want to low blow our South African athletes. They are all good and stuff like that, but it's the struggle is also real if it comes to finance and stuff like that. To fly over to another country to go to Olympia. It is a tough tough one. It is one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll pass on this one, but
Okay.
I did
So
far,
no one.
For any Olympia.
Okay. Ahmad, what do you think?
in our pros now that we have, I think is gonna go to the Olympia next. I think it's gonna be Muzi, to be honest. I think he has the biggest and the best chance to go to the Olympia this year. He just fell short of it last year. He proved it. He came second in Brazil. And
Yeah.
was it the Arnold's or was one of the Brazil shows? He came,
Yeah,
Only NBC show in Brazil.
yeah, so I think he's going to be, he has the best chance of going to the Olympia first out of our pros. If I'm just being realistic and being honest. Because it's very difficult in men's open. Like I would say Subs has a good chance of going as well, especially with the direction that the judges are going with judging the bodybuilding, especially open bodybuilding. They're looking for the aesthetic guys, the streamline guys. I'm not sure if you guys are glued up and watching the news in the Olympia channels and stuff like that. I just watched a podcast with it's on Primetime Muscle or something like that, with Terry Calgindi and Chris Cormier. They spoke about it heavily. Like it was very blunt. And Tarek's a head judge. He's a judge of the Olympia and he's a head judge of some shows. And he said straight like it's not the direction that they're heading over to, but it's like that's the physiques they're favoring more now. The aesthetics, the wide shoulders, small waists, the cartoonish looking figures. That's what they're going for. So, but even with that said, it's very difficult for guys to get into that men's open now, especially for now that they changed the qualifications to get to the Olympia. You have to win a show. It's no longer point systems, stuff like that, or top twos or top threes. You have to win the show and go on. And I mean, look at the field of the men's open of the last Olympia. I mean, we spoke about it in the last podcast. I mean, the pro shows are going to be stacked. The lineups are going to be stacked. I mean, we're going to have guys like Andrew Jack going up against Ian Valier and Rafael Brandau in the same lineup as with Subs and guys like Hunter Labrada. So all these guys still have to qualify. So the pro lineups are going to be stacked. So with that being said, I think Muzi has the best chance of going to the Olympia out of our South African athletes.
Okay.
I totally actually forgot about him because I've been watching him for quite a while. And you were talking about that 3D look. And he also have more into that 3D look. They have a nice waist, nice shoulder, nice bicep. You have everything, like everything. Moves have everything. And yeah, I also think the exact same thing that he would be into that Mr. Olympia lineup.
Yeah, be specific now. Obviously, going to the Olympia in the 212 because that is his category. So
Yeah.
that's I think just to put it out there.
Yeah, of course. No, he is. Okay. You go. What do you think?
So completely agree with Ahmad there that I think Muzi is just easily. I think you would be stupid not to pick him in terms of the closest to go to the Olympia would definitely be him. The way Sibs has progressed is great. I think really he's done some great leaps and bounds. It's his shape is phenomenal. His separation is getting gnarlier and gnarlier every time. The only thing that he needs to do, and I remember speaking to Jack about it last year when I was in Joburg for the pro qualifier, and I was telling him how I really like the Arnold Classic conditioning that he brought, and I believe that was just the best we've ever seen Sibs. But also the way that I told him how I found it, and you kind of reiterate that that was kind of like the thing, is that they're testing out types of peaks and whatnot. And obviously what happened in Brazil was the one, the perfect one. So I think if Sibs just puts on just that little bit, it sounds crazy even just me saying it, but like putting on that just little bit more roundness and fullness, even when he's almost like what, between 280 pounds to 300 pounds, almost like lean shredded. The guy is huge. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of weight in a big boy. So he just it's just going to be a matter of time until he gets there. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough in terms of winning a show. But I do believe that there are some shows that he can win. And even with some of the guys, like if he stands up against some of the top 10 guys, he really can give some guys a run for their money, especially with the fullness that he brings. But there's one guy who, the change that he made, I think he basically prepped from there to his pro qualifier. And one guy who I think is very, very, very close in the running is Dylan Dawson.
I was literally, yeah.
That guy went from his pro qualifier look to his pro debut was literally like, when I was talking to Stefan about this, I said like he was ready to become a pro at that show, but when he showed up at the pro qualifier, he looked like a pro, and he really held his own. So I think that guy does. I'd even go as far as to say that if all goes well with his offseason, he puts the right muscle in the right places. He just basically needs to pick the right show, and he'll be going.
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to him doing the thing. The one thing that's just kind of tough for our SA athletes is we've got such amazing shape, but especially with the finances and stuff, that is probably the biggest thing that's holding us back. The other thing is just like, it just feels like the overall size and the roundness and the fullness that the international athletes have is just something we just haven't gotten to. And again, it sounds crazy for me to even say someone like Sibs, like he needs just that little bit more roundness. Like look at the guy's weight. Look at how shredded he comes in to these shows. Like the guy is stupid depleted. Like, but
yeah,
something that these international athletes have, just in terms of the fullness, the size, the roundness. So, but I think those three guys are my top guys that I feel. Another guy that I really do like his structure, and I think if he can just, I would say just his back overall thickness and hang in that back would be Tyrone. I think Tyrone's structure is phenomenal. His shoulders and his chest, that shelf look that he has, and the way that he's able to angle himself with his streamlined waist. It's just the back. Like if he has those little bit more flaring lats, that thickness from the back when he turns around, I think he can make a lot of damage. But it's tough for me when it comes to judging in men's physique, because I don't always know. Like I feel like I'm in my head, I'm picking the guy who looks the best. Like for example, the one guy, the Brazilian guy who I absolutely love in men's physique, Cake Pro or something like that. The guy in peeled. Like there is nothing fat water on that guy, and he is round, bubbly. But I don't think he even barely cracks top 5 at the Olympia. And I'm like, have you guys seen this guy's shape? Have you seen his conditioning, his roundness, his fullness? But they prefer something else. So I don't always exactly know how and what they are preferring in men's physique. In my head, I'm always picking the guy that looks the best, and then the guy that is supposedly better than this guy doesn't have as great conditioning as this guy, or he's not as full, or maybe his shape isn't even as great as the other one. So I don't know, hey, but I feel
this is a topic that we can go on and on with, eh? Because we have a men's physique guy here, so I think we could have went on and on about this criteria of men's physique, because it's like, I hate the term apples and oranges, because freaking hell, when it comes to men's physique, jeez, I mean, well, also another topic is like the criteria in different federations, like we spoke about in the last podcast. I mean, some of the federations don't okay, like with NPC, it's only front and back now. With other federations, they're still doing the quarter turns, the full on quarter turns. So the criteria are much different when it comes to different federations and men's physique. They're looking for different stuff.
Yeah, that's also true. That's very true.
Men's physique is quite very tricky if it comes to different federations. You're 100% right, because look at like maybe the Arnolds, but the Arnolds Africa, they want more. They don't want too bulky, because there's like two lineups. There's muscular physique and men's physique. Now the muscular physique is also board shorts, which literally confused me if you want to put the athlete there or if you want to compete. Because muscular physique has to be more bulkier than men's physique.
Sorry to cut you off there, but that's you see, that's where we're speaking about the different federations. Like the Arnold's Africa, they're not affiliated with NPC. They're affiliated with.
Yes.
With
that's why you get two Arnolds.
So it's
you get the NPC one and you get the normal Africa and the UK and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's I think like, I mean, we don't want to go off topic here. I mean, we're speaking about who's going to the Olympia next out of our pros. So we don't want to. Sorry to cut you off, also Hugo, but I mean,
I fully understand.
Just thinking about what you're mentioning is bringing up topics that we can speak on and on and on about it. There's some questions that I would like to ask as well. When it comes to men's physique, because me as a coach as well, I understand like different the criteria of different federations and stuff like that. So obviously maybe we can get Mickey on again sometime and speak about.
I was just about to say, what we'll do is Mickey will just we'll just add him to the group, and then
sure.
You know, it's probably a good idea, because then at least we have a better rotation when we have fucking load shedding like this. I didn't even know it's supposed to have load shedding at 4. Remember I told you guys?
Yeah.
Right, didn't go off. And look.
Yeah, because that is a massive talk about.
But luckily I got this fucking ring light and the UPS and whatever, so it works. But then we can do that. We can actually do a full podcast on like judging criteria, all that good stuff. Definitely.
So I think that topic of who we think is going to the Olympia next. I think Hugo was finishing off on that. We're going a little bit off track, so I had to like maybe just stop him there, because he was I have a lot of questions about, so I didn't want him to go deep into that end.
No worries, bro. No worries. Yeah. So, from my side, obviously I'm gonna back my boy Tyron. I really want him to get there, but obviously he's just turned pro. And I actually genuinely think he's got the potential to get there. But like the nice thing is he's got time to really put on the size in the right places, and he's also got that like. It's weird because you don't really look for this in men's physique, but he's got this like freak factor when he walks out. Like it's just like fucking strange. He's got these crazy wide shoulders, and it's like. So I think that's definite. But I'm gonna say I think the first to get there, I think it's gonna be Sibu. Because the reason why I don't say Muzi, there's only one reason.
You're just playing
look, I could be.
That's what you're doing.
Sorry.
You're just playing devil's advocate right now. That's what you're doing.
No. The thing is, I believe that Muzi would probably get there first, purely on physique. But I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Sibu's got, a better financial backing behind him, so that if he misses a show, if he goes and he places second in a show, it's fine, because later in the year you'll probably be able to do another one. Where I think, I could be wrong, if Muzi's going to do a show, he's probably going to do one, and if he doesn't get it, the chances of doing another international show in the year, you know what I mean? So I think that's the only reason why. But I mean, they're both fucking phenomenal, bro. They both can do so well. I think Sibu.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Like I mean, Sibu's I'm affiliated with Sibu, so I'm not gonna fight you on that.
But it's a very true fact that he's pointing out is the financial aspect of it, and obviously, like Sibs has that more in his pocket. sorry for the pun, but that's that's the difficult part about it is like, as we said, is like that financial backing to be able to get you there. Sibs has the opportunity to go do multiple shows to be able to qualify, whereas most of these other athletes, like, you got one show, like, financially in your pocket, that which you can put out, and a lot of these guys don't even really have that in their back pocket. They need to go and find that. So I think that's probably like part of the biggest problem that we have is just we don't have the financial backing, unfortunately, in this country to be able to do those things.
Yeah, 100%. No, the one thing I will say with Sivu, if that guy, look, everyone says the same thing. He needs to bring up his back, like the whole posterior chain, and that, like, I'm gonna say it again. He brings that up to the way his front looks. Look, he's still good from the back. He's fucking amazing. But if he brings it up to what he looks from the front, that's gonna be a fucking dangerous package on stage. That's gonna look fucking crazy. And I think he is. I think, well, Ahmed can obviously say, obviously knows him a lot better. But if he brings that up, because I think that's definitely been his weak point in the past. But I mean, fuck, if that comes,
Look,
am I wrong?
Look, you're right and wrong. I mean, a lot of people will argue about this, and when this go out, it's gonna be a topic, especially amongst our boys.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it needs to bring it up. It's just like we spoke about it in the previous podcast with the pros that's struggling on the circuit right now, like Big Ramy, like Hunter Labrada. It's just that lower lat area thickness that's just doesn't complete the physique. So it's not like it's lagging. It just lacks that density. The fact, I mean, and to say that about Subs, I mean, and that man is a dense, bruh. He's dense.
Yeah.
You don't get any dense than that. It's just it's like the genetics. It's like something I think.
About to ask, you think it's more of a genetic thing than yeah? Because I mean that makes sense. It's that upper back and the whole lot's fucking crazy. It's thick as anything, but it's that same little pocket at the bottom that's kind of So, but
the lat spread looks fantastic, bro. Like,
yeah,
I mean, killing guys in the lat spread. It's just I mean, back double bicep is a big shot. And I'll refer back to the podcast I just watched like a few days ago on Primetime Marshall, and they spoke heavily about guys from the back, even though they've proven that you can lose a show from the back.
Yeah,
and you can win the show from the front or whatever. Like they've proven that the shows aren't won from the back. That's the point I'm trying to make. They've went heavily. Spoke about Derek Lansford's back. And they spoke about Samson bringing just that little bit more in his back. Then he's going to be dangerous. I believe that Subs and Samson is very much similar. I believe Subs will be a little bit bigger than Samson. Some shots, some shots that you might struggle with him is maybe the rear shots and a little bit from the side, just that thickness, especially in the hamstring department. But I'm just going on what I've seen previously, and obviously how Samson has performed at the Arnolds, and just how powerful he was in that side shots. He was just very complete, man. I mean, and I think that's where Subs is knocking right at that door, and like I think he has the biggest potential to get there. But I mean, like I say, it's a very, very tough road, difficult road on getting to that men's open Olympia stage. I mean, like I said, the competition and how to get there now has gotten even harder. So, yeah.
Do you think my confusion from the back is more got to do with the legs than the actual back? When I say that, I mean he's got fucking crazy legs. I'm saying, like that sweep from the back.
It's just, but sorry, we can't pull images up now and we can look at it, but
yeah,
it's the best way for me to describe it is maybe just time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just a matter of time. I mean, we look at Subs' physique, it's It's very fresh muscle, man. It's very clean. It's very, very, very clean. Yes, she has the graininess in the quads, crazy feathering, graininess in the shoulders, in the chest. I think it's just time. I think the muscle that they've put on, especially on the posterior chain, if I think about it back to last year's package, his base package, in Brazil, looking at his hamstrings, they were peeled, they were stripped, but you could see it was new muscle, new tissue. So I think it's just like it's a matter of time. That's all what it is. And
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, fuck, bro. At the end of the day, we're hoping both of them get to the Olympia. That'd be sick. If they both got to the Olympia at the end of this year, that'd be fucking mad. But anyways, I guess good luck to the boys. Let's hope. Let's hope. I told you it'll only be 1 or 2 questions and it'll take up the whole. Okay, next question. Touchy subject. Okay, from Keenan Davids. Current cycles. That's the question.
current cycles.
It's funny how our athletes, or new athletes, or old athletes, will still ask you current cycle. Current cycle on what?
Let's just say 20 seconds on, 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. 15 minutes, go for it, man.
I will go with Ahmad. I will say time. More time. They need actually more time to talk about cycles. You can't just ask for current cycle, and it's just you need a lot of knowledge to talk about cycle. It's just not just any cycle.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you don't want to be just throwing things out there and then people take it wrong and say, okay, well, fucking, you guys doing a gram of train a week, so
cool, man.
Let me do it. Yeah. Let's not. Yeah, you're right.
Everybody.
I hope you're not doing a gram of train, by the way.
Are they asking everybody cycle?
Fuck.
Hey, Lyle?
Okay. Next question. Oh my God, it's okay. So actually, this is a question I wanted to ask. This I'll get to those other questions if you can. What's the guys that are competing? What's your guys' show plans? What's the I assume you both in the off season now.
Yep.
Me and you need to be specific.
Yeah. Ahmed and Hugo. I don't think me and Mickey are going to be competing anytime soon.
Yeah, so I'm in the off season now. I'm about to start prep. Probably in the next week or two. First show is going to be on the 29th. The Muscle Malusha is the regional qualifier, and then the pro qualifier in December here at home in Cape Town, the NPC African. So yeah. Okay. I've decided. I've looked at the schedule this year. And I think, well, it's a home ground advantage for me. So I play that.
100%.
I think it's actually a good idea to bring the pro qualifier here in Cape Town instead of keeping it whole time at Joburg, because we also need that is a brilliant idea, because there's so many talent here in Cape Town. And I'm sure, like you said, home advantage, our athletes will take that home advantage and take that stage to another level here in Cape Town. Cape Town will give them the best show.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, look, what better city, to come and fucking do the show at least.
Exactly.
So that makes fucking perfect sense. And also for the guys, you don't have to fly and fucking do all that shit, because also, like we talk about finances, some guys don't have unfortunately, some guys don't have the money just to fly there just to do the show. So yeah. Okay, cool. And you go. I think I've asked you this question about 4 times now on the podcast.
So first off, I gotta say that I haven't actually heard what Ahmad's plans were, so I was actually very excited to hear what he was gonna say, because I've been waiting for the comeback. So I will see you at Muscle Militia. But my plans. right now just taking off season, just trying to grow, and we'll start prep around August or September, and then I'm gonna be doing 2 shows back to back, Eye Candy, Mother City, because I want my title back, and then I want that pro card, so I'll be doing the one straight after that.
Okay, so fucking stacked year for both of you.
It's gonna be fun.
And Ahmed, how much do you weigh right now, bro? 300, 400 kilos? How much?
Well, at the moment now, I'm sitting about 100.5, 101, sitting around there. It's been
Fucking hell.
fluctuating. It's been very difficult, mate, to be very honest. Too. It's the heaviest I've been. I would say, well, this is my first off season that I've really taken seriously.
Yeah.
Focused on a lot of weak areas. I was told that I need to bring these parts up, that parts up. That's why I took the whole year off last year. And didn't was very itchy to get on the stage. There was a point in that off season I was like, well, we might as well just start stripping down now and get onto stage. But yeah, like I took the time. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm in a very weird spot at the moment now where I would like to grow further, but also like, oh, I really want to start prep now. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sitting at 100.
So you're getting a bit, also probably getting a bit uncomfortable at that weight.
I'm actually very comfortable now.
Is it, eh?
In the beginning, I was struggling. I think the heaviest I've gotten up to was 102. I was there for like a week or two, and then my body just started recomping again. Started dropping weight. Could see, okay, well, I'm still keeping the fullness. It's just like there's a lot of new lines coming out. So it was a good. I knew my body was moving in the right direction at that point. I wasn't really, and I was pushing food really high, very aggressively. With myself and Jay's, he's my coach. So we were pushing food aggressively. So I didn't feel like the need to push more. Obviously, it's not just chasing scale weight. It's also chasing the look.
Yeah, of course.
The
Yeah.
biggest thing that I preach with my athletes as well. There's no point we just chasing the number on the scale, looking at the scale. I mean, I see now it's like a trend that's now on social media. Everybody wants to be triple digits. But what about the conditioning? What about how you look at triple digits? It's not just about getting to triple digits. It's about how you look. It's not just like
Yeah.
and
And also,
I nearly fell into that trap as well. Like, I mean, just thinking, fuck, I don't care how I'm going to get to 100. I just want to get to 100. And then also just listening to experienced coaches and also just taking a step back and thinking about the sport and thinking about what needs to be done and thinking, okay, well, we're not stepping on the stage with the scale there. So it doesn't really matter what you weigh. It's the look that you actually need to chase.
yeah. And also, that goes back to the conversation we had earlier before you came on. It's like doing that, you know what I mean? Mickey, remember we were talking about just trying to put on like all that weight and shit, and it's majority of the time, a lot of the guys are doing it, and it's actually just fucking useless because they're just putting on unnecessary weight, putting pressure on their body, on their organs for nothing really. So yeah, fuck, that's definitely the way to go, you know. But yeah, boys, flip it. It's crazy how fucking fast these podcasts go.
It is, right?
It's felt like 15 minutes. It's been 55 minutes. It's fucking crazy. Crazy shit. But anyways, boys, thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Mickey, I'll add you to the group. And then Ahmed, I know if you want to do that topic next week, we can 100% go through that then.
Yeah, I think maybe next week or on the next podcast we can discuss about, like we had in the previous podcast, we spoke about the different federations, how it's affecting athletes, how it's affecting coaches, how it's affecting the sport, most importantly. And then we can speak about, with that, we can speak about criteria. I mean, we speak about different federations, we can chop it down in so many segments. But I think it's a good one if we speak about the different federations, the criterias, what judges are looking for. Also, just to give us the insight and give the listeners also insight, and especially guys coming into the sport so they can understand what they're coming into.
Yeah, 100%. I think we should definitely do that. And in the meantime, I'm trying to figure out ways to just make this podcast a bit better. I've figured out some other stuff, so let's see. Because I don't know about you guys. How's your picture? Not great, or is it alright?
It's pretty okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Very
Okay,
good.
cool. Okay, that's good. That's good at least. Yeah, they come out alright, but I want to just make sure that I can, like you said earlier, we wanted to show a photo of Sibs. If we could bring that up on the screen, that'll be tops. But anyways, we'll get better as we go, and hopefully fucking load shedding subsides, but that's never gonna happen, I don't think. But let's see.
So we have to find a way. I told you, like I said to Blaine earlier. Get the
Yeah.
something, bro. That's the best bet. Or get a torch.
Yeah, use a torch.
Shit on the side.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find out where Blaine lives, and I'm gonna package a ring light and send it to him. Okay, power boys, thanks. And I'll see you everyone next week. That was good.
100%.
Awesome.
100%.
Guys,
Awesome chatting, boys.
Cheers.
cheers.